Hello and welcome to this edition of My Fucking Rant Suck. Today's episode, Christian Values. Now, I was talking to a recently acquired virtual friend of mine about some religious aspects lately, and I was actually kind of struck back with this person. I'm just going to omit this person's name because I'm trying to keep shit on the down low, on the low pro. I opened my my email this morning, and I think it took about a minute to download all the subscriptions that I've recently acquired. I don't know who the hell gave me a shout out, but it must have been big because I just picked up a lot of subs. So for those of you new to my channel, thank you for stopping by, subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And if somebody wouldn't mind telling me how you recently came about, who gave me the shout out, that'd be cool. That way I could thank them. But also thank you to all of you, and thank you to all the the old school subscribers, people who've been chilling with me since day 1, 2, or at least a week into it. So anyway, Christian values. What are they? Now, the reason I actually feel somewhat qualified to speak on this, somewhat qualified, is because I used to be a Christian, now I'm an atheist. So, where did my values change as as my religious orientation transitioned? Well, they didn't at all. It had nothing to do with that. I would say, if anything, if it did affect them in any way, shape, or form, I became a lot more liberal and more prone and aware of human rights as I became an atheist, because I realized how much more of a direct effect I have on other people. But I want to genuinely know, what is a Christian value? I mean, aside from Christian practices like worshiping a tree, which is pagan or anything like that, or wreaths or mistletoe. Okay, what is Christian? What is Christian? I mean, celebrating Christ. I'm looking back at all the Christian stuff that I did, and the only really Christian practice that I can remember is at church, reenacting the ceremony. I was actually one of the wise men one of the years too, so don't go thinking I was just sitting in the bleachers. Nuh-uh. I was in the shit. That's right. Yeah, we reenacted the whole three wise men, Jesus, Joseph, Mary, and yeah, great. A cool little spectacle at church. But aside from that, what is Christian? More importantly, what are the Christian values that Christians hold? I've heard people say that they don't abide to the biblical standard, or standards. Here I go. They don't hold that the Bible is a literal interpretation from God, or that it blah 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 blah. They just sort of see it as a guidebook, sort of a pamphlet from very well understood religious people that probably did have a direct line to God or something like that. Either way, they see, and I can't argue with them in the sense that there is some very intelligent passages in the Bible, contained within the Bible. It's like, say that, sort of like philosophy. You read quotes from ancient philosophers, and it's like, damn, and it sort of makes you think, and it's like, nah, that's amazing how true that is. Bible's the same way. Although Bible is also wrapped around a lot of nasty, sadistic, barbaric practices, but that's something that we've all touched on already. So, once again, coming back to my ADD point, what is Christian values? I want to know, because in my perspective, there's nothing that I held to be morally right or wrong, per se, more Christian, more as a Christian than I do now. If anything, I believe that, but I mean, then again, I'm getting older, and it's debatable, but some would argue that I'm getting wiser as I grow older, and therefore I'm gaining a much more broader perspective of reality and bringing in a lot more variables into the equation as to how I judge what is right and wrong and what I choose to do in order to be one with my society or community. Yeah, so what I want to know what the fucking Christ or Christian values. Probably saying fucking Christ is not a Christian value. It's probably one they'll shun. Damn it, I'm gonna be excommunicated for this one. Oh well, yeah. Okay, actually, that being said, okay. So the first question is, what are Christian values specifically? I want to know what values do Christians hold that other people don't. You know what I mean? Especially when you compare it to even other religions, such as Islam or even atheists. I want to know what sets Christianity apart in this department. What are Christian values that are different than ones held by other people? The second one issue that I want to touch on is this whole kerfunkel shindig with Jesus Freak 777. Now I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy in the world. I've been watching him on and off for a few months now, at least maybe a year or so. And I gotta say, I kind of respect the guy. Not kind of, no, I do respect the guy. He seems like a pretty cool guy. He really does. Obviously, his religious beliefs are well beyond my rational abilities to classify, but nonetheless, he still seems like a really decent guy. And then there's this whole shindig with, he said, for those of you unfamiliar, I'm not even going to quote sources or anything like this, I'm sure you can find tons of shit if you haven't already. He stated that he hopes that if God asked him to kill his only child, that he would have, or is it his only child? Maybe he has two, I don't know. The whole point is, he wishes that he would have the ability to do so. Now, I think Noel Plum probably gave one of the best descriptions of what's going on there that I think I've heard. So, Noel Plum 99, isn't it? I think it's 99, yeah. Go check his video out. He really puts it into perspective from a Christian perspective, which really helps anybody understand it. But above that, what really, really fucking threw me off here was just how quick atheists here on YouTube were to jump all over this as if they had fucking won something. You know, if Thunderfoot says something stupid, Christians are going to jump all over that shit. Despite whether he's right or wrong, if he says something stupid, they consider that a victory. That's how fucking loose their evidence is. That's how fucking faulty, flawed, and shitty their case against this, the madness of atheism actually is. They don't have anything. So that's why if they find anything that looks even remotely flawed to them, they're like, ha! Got you, Thunderfoot. Fucking, there were a bunch of atheists that, well, it wasn't sort of like, ha, you made one fucking mistake. It was a bunch of atheists that collectively assaulted Thunderfoot on these issues. That was another issue. But more importantly, I see a whole shitload of people jumping all over fucking Jesus Freak 777 over this, and it saddens me. It really saddens me, because to me, it's a fucking creationist tactic. It's literally something that you resort to if you have nothing. Now, I guess in the proverbial sense, atheists don't have anything, right? I mean, the term atheism in itself, what do we have, right? So, I mean, I'm not trying to make a case for atheists. I'm just saying, what the fuck's going on here? When Jesus Freak says something, yeah, it's fucked up that he would say that. But do you honestly think that he would fucking kill his own kid? Do you really think that? Unlikely. Personally, I don't think he would do that. And yes, I've heard all the fucking arguments. There's that Tony guy who killed, that poor girl, and then took his own life. Yeah, look at his videos. He was a fucking crazy. He was a batshit fucking crazy.
Jesus Freak is not a batshit fucking crazy. He's a little crazy, but he's not a batshit fucking crazy. There's a big difference. And if you're willing to sort of verbally crucify Jesus Freak for what he said there, I'm sorry, but I have nothing else to say on that aside from it really shows the loopholes in your own position. You shouldn't need to attack something that perilous if you have good ground to stand on. You know what I mean? If you have the resources, you don't need to go seek them. You don't need to actively seek them. You don't need to slaughter other people in order to acquire them. Sort of a ecological analogy. Economical. See, too many big words. It's too fucking early. All right, leave me alone. It's Saturday. Okay, I'm supposed to be going and getting drunk right now.
I ain't afraid of no